Lower Shore Farm. It's one of Swindon's best kept secrets, I think, and it's an amazing organic farm, quite small scale, but a lot of people come here for, it's called woofing, working on an organic farm weekend. There's a lot of volunteering around food and the environment goes on here, and they also run quite an intensive programme of all sorts of workshops and events that are, just this weekend on the borders you come in, there's, wild foraging, wildflower drawing, all sorts of art and cultural things around sort of the environment and farming and nature as well. So they've got programmes, they're on the web, they're very easy to find, and so many people don't know about them, so it's just a really nice thing on our doorstep. And as the ride was literally going past the front door, I thought, well, we have to pop in and say hi and let people know it's here, really. Just across that stile there is Peatmore Copse Community Woodland, and here we are in West Swindon, and most of the woodland around us is secondary planting, is recent woodland, but that is a little island of genuine ancient woodland, which means it's been wooded continuously since at least 1600, and it's an amazing bit of ancient habitat that's now surrounded by West Swindon. And when we knew that was happening, when West Swindon was being built, working with the council, a charity BTCV, the conservation volunteers, got together with the council and we got a community group going to adopt and look after that wood. And that was before the houses went up, and the group is still going. And what they're mainly doing, most of the wood, is non-interference. And do come back and walk around it, because it's like, it's like Tarzan jungle swamp. Some of it is really impressive. But other bits, the drier sections with more hazel, are being coppiced, which is an ancient form of woodland management. Brilliant for wildlife if it's done right. This group have a management plan and they're doing it right. So it's probably one of the best examples of a community woodland you'll find in this country. Nice ancient woodland, well-established group who know what they're doing, good wildlife management. So it's worth coming back. And if you want to get involved, they're out first Sunday of the month all through the winter season, which is when they're doing the coppicing, they're doing the woodland management. They do other stuff at other times of year, and they're really easy to get in contact with. Just contact Roger Ogle, who's the guy who does the Link magazine. Very easy to reach. He's a man who's very easy to reach, and he's currently the one who's sort of really running the group, and he can tell you when to come out and when to meet them. So another little hidden gem really, and not a lot of people know that's going on, and it's one of the best examples in the country, I reckon. That's Peatmore Community Woodland. Happy with that? It's completely man-made. Conservation volunteers. What's that?
Pagoda.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he's a big old boy here.
That's fantastic, isn't it? It's the grandest perch in Swindon.
Yeah, it's always hard. He sits on that stage over there.
That's lovely. I like that. Well, when this was newly built, local conservation volunteers came out with a boat. We dug out reeds from the old canal, which was pre-restoration, and stuck the rhizomes, the underground tubers, in the mud around the edge of the lake to establish the water's edge and get the water's edge habitat, the water's edge reeds growing up. So now every time I come past this lake and I see all the reedy fringes, I get to think I did that. Going sort of at the crossroads to us. Shore Forest Park is interesting because it's mainly woodland. There's some grassland creation and stuff going on up there as well. Massive new block of habitat appearing in the middle of town, and literally thousands and thousands of Swindonians have planted trees up there over the years. We had lots of family tree plants, community tree plants, and the local buy-in to this new public open space is massive. And I don't know if anyone remembers, a few years back there was the suggestion of relocating Swindon Town's stadium up there. West Swindon, which is not an area renowned for its radicalism, let's face it. West Swindon arose and marched on the town hall, and I've never seen anything quite like it. This is Sevenfields Nature Reserve. It's a local nature reserve. About the same sort of time that Peatmore got going, the community group got going to sort of adopt and look after these meadows, and they campaigned long and hard to get it designated as a local nature reserve. And just like Peat Moor is ancient woodland, what we've got here is a whole series of fields which are ancient hay meadows. Now historically, you know, hay was important because all the tractors were horses and you needed to, and you know, a lot of cattle, and you needed to get stuff through the winter, so it was a key part of the farming environment. And this is probably one of the rarest habitats left in the country. The loss of ancient hay meadows has been absolutely staggering since the war. And so, I mean, if you just want to have a quick look at it, just have a sort of a, just give you a sense of what we've got here. If you look down, there's very, very little grass there. It's all wild flowers. And one of the ones, I won't pick it, but one of the ones just to point out for now is this one with the serrated leaves and the yellow flowers. Does anyone know what that is? Yeah, yellow rattle. And later on, when it's in seed beds, you walk through these fields and it just rattles as you go. It's parasitic on grasses, and that's helping keep the grasses down. It's still taken and cut. It's not very good hay. It's a bit thin now, but it's still taken and cut for hay at the end of the summer. Classically, historically, at least in June time, really, it's taken. This is taken quite lately. But if it wasn't taken for hay, these would all turn into scrub or woodland, and we'd have lost one of our last few sort of precious jewels. I'll give you an idea of how lucky we are, guys. We hosted an urban wildlife conference in Swindon, I guess in about the mid-90s, and we have people from urban wildlife groups all over the country come to Swindon for a little conference, do some site visits, and in the scene at the time, in places like Peterborough and Leicester that were always like having lots of articles written about them, big splash in like the wildlife media, and people from those towns that came to Peat Moor, that came here, were just going, we got nothing like this. You know, they're all dealing with sort of, you know, scrappy secondary habitats. Here in Swindon, we've got fine examples of ancient woodland, ancient grassland, that, you know, you would have to go out to the deep countryside and search long and hard to find this. And here we are at a massive site within town. It is, in wildlife terms, it is that good. So it's really exceptional. So I thought we had to sort of swing by and look at Seven Fields. Come back in June when the black knapweed and the oxeye daisies are all in flower, and it's really quite a sight. And here it is, and you know, and we know the communities around it, you know, and the community groups say this, they're not wealthy communities, but boy are they wealthy in their public open space. They're better off than anyone in Knightsbridge. At this point, 3-4 years ago, the River Ray here was just a straight line with vertical banks, and it was like a drain, you know. No good, yeah, no good for wildlife, really. You know, major work's done, and you can see now the way it's weaving through. This is straight up through, and I think that's straight through behind us. See the same sort of style. And what it's all about is reconnecting the river with its floodplain. And it meanders through it now. You've got these on-screen ponds. You know, that was pretty dry. Whoops, a couple of days ago. And seasonal ponds. The river is a lot more liable now to sort of, you know, breach its banks and flood over the plain, which is good news if you're living like here. There's a lot of these approaches, like rather than heavy engineering, let's reconnect the rivers with their floodplains.